from Warm Living. This is the Deluxe stove with infrared heat. So it's not heat that's like hot on your skin or your body. It's heat that envelops the room and keeps you feeling cozy. It looks incredible. It's perfect year-round because you can turn the heat off. You can actually have that beautiful flame effect on or off. So there's so many great features on this one, and today it has been so incredibly popular. Not only do we have it on a great sale price for you at $109.99, we have interest-free credit card payments. Ooh! Yeah, I'm feeling a little of that warmth, that coziness. It's soothing, it's relaxing. So for the bedroom, maybe it's in the evening when you're winding down, you're grabbing that nice, I don't know, you've just gotten out of the bubble bath, you're gonna have a glass of wine. You don't wanna have to blare the heat throughout the entire home. Of course, bedrooms are great. Maybe it's the little one, maybe it's the nursery, maybe it's the man cave, maybe it's the living room. Any single room could benefit from this beautiful, gorgeous infrared heater. So I want to take you through the colors. It does come with a remote, so you can customize the features when you want it, how you want it. And do you hear that? There's even a real life crackle, but no gas, no real flames, no, firewood you have to chop, no coils, nothing. This is going to be right here, the one that we have that is actually called our blue. So this is the blue. Next to that, we also have it for you in taupe. I love the taupe because it gives you that kind of beautiful kind of sand colorway, a nice kind of creamy beige color. Next to that, we do have it for you in the green. Notice this green. This green is like that perfect, like it's a soft, subtle green. It's got that just gorgeous sage colorway to it. It's also the most limited. And then we also have it in red, which I love. We've got the red for you. The red is great, especially if you love pops of red, maybe in your kitchen, or maybe it's in your living room or in the kids' playroom. I love that pop of color. And they all have like a beautiful matte finish to the paint. Classic black, you can't go wrong with black. And then we love this one as well. This one's called gray, but it's like a gray-blue undertone. They all have gorgeous finishes. It stands at 22 inches high, 13 inches in length, and about 18.5 inches wide. And then I'm standing next to the white. It's an antique white, though. So this might be sort of reminiscent of kind of a stove oven that you had growing up. Maybe it was at your great-grandmother's house. The assembly is easy. You get it home. It has a 6-foot cord. So with that, put it wherever you want to. Maybe it's the kitchen, it's the dining room, and it does come with the remote control with a real crackle effect that you can turn on and off, real sounds, real feel, and that warmth from within that you can only get from an infrared heater. Now, this is the only Heater Today special of the year, so if you want to get it home or you want to gift it to somebody today, we're doing it for you for $27.50, and we'd love to ship it out to you. Carrie McNally is joining me. Carrie McNally, you look like you would be outdoors chopping wood.
Yes, right. This is my lumberjack.
I like it. I like your flannel
lumberjack
today.
shirt. But yeah, you don't have to chop any wood. You don't have any ashes to throw out. There's no natural gas, no fire to start, nothing like that. But you do get power and performance and lots of safety features. We are honored to be here for the 6th year in a row with a Today special that only is for you. You can only get this. You can only get it at hsn.com or right now, live on the TV. Are we live right now?
We're live.
Oh man, this is exciting. So I want to walk you through why this is such an amazing product. Okay, first and foremost, it's very lightweight. It weighs 12.5 pounds. I can lift this with one hand, but I don't want to drop it. I can lift this with one hand. 12.5 pounds. As you mentioned, it's 22 inches tall, it's 18 inches wide, and about 13.5 inches deep. This is the heating element here. If you're new to infrared heating, welcome on in. This is state-of-the-art technology. We will show you an animation of what we all grew up with, and I'm a lot older than you are, Valerie, obviously, but when we were kids, a space heater was just a bunch of coils, right? Yeah. It turned on, it would start to smell, and it would make lots of noise, and then the cat would disappear for days, right? And it would just like, it would dry out all the air. This is infrared heating technology. They're bulbs. They heat us subcutaneously. I had to Google that. Subcutaneously is a great big word that means from the inside out. Like imagine when you were young or recently you were skiing and you're out and you're freezing and you realize you're in the shade, and then you step into the sun and you're warm from the inside out. Or it's like a bowl of soup or a hug from a really good friend on a bad day. It warms you from the inside out. And it never, ever, ever dries out the air. When you fire up electric heat mostly, and if you have forced air or even gas, Like that, the relative humidity in that room is gone, which means your skin gets dry, your eyes get dry, your sinuses get dry. That will never happen with infrared heating technology. And for something that has this small of a footprint that only weighs 12.5 pounds, wait for a drum roll, it will heat a space up to 688 square feet. To put that in perspective, a 2-car garage where you can put 2 big SUVs and all your skiing equipment. I'm really hung up on skiing. It must be the flannel shirt. But that's 400 square feet. A 2-car garage is 400 square feet. Take a look at that living room, the upper left-hand portion. That's 418 square feet. The kitchen's 176. So it's covering the kitchen and the living room. That's what's amazing. But when you get this home and you turn down the lights, sweet darling, because tonight it's all the way. When you get this home and you turn the lights down, whether you're going to watch a movie or you want to read a book or you just want to relax, or maybe, as Valerie said, you just got out of the bubble bath and you just want a little glass of wine.
How was that?
You turn the lights down and then these really come to life in looks and feels and sounds like a real iron cast wood-burning stove in your home.
Yet I would never stand near one that was real. Look how close I am standing to it, and you can see how real that flame effect. And I don't know about you, but there's something about creating that ambiance. There's something so soothing and relaxing and comforting to not only have the lights that look like real flames, but be able to control the heat. There's 2 different heat settings, but also to get the sound of the crackling. For me, it's creating that environment without the hassle, without the stress, and without the risks in your home. Maybe you do live in something that's around 700 square feet. That's bigger than my first apartment, quite frankly.
Oh, that's bigger than any apartment I had in New York.
Exactly. But it could just be the place that you kick off your shoes at the end of the day and you do sit back and you read a book or you listen to your favorite podcast, or maybe it's your daily devotionals and you just want to set the mood. This is perfect. But when you need that infrared heat, when you want that warmth from within, you've got that ability to turn on. It's also a beautiful focal point, right? In a home.
Of course, yes, absolutely. There are so many ways to take your space to the next level with just this one purchase. What did you say, $2,750 to get it home?
$2,750.
Yeah, my wife was asking me about that the other day because one of her friends said, do you have to have an HSN credit card? No, you don't.
No, you don't.
And is it a layaway? Do you get it at the end of the 4 months?
Good point.
And she was like, no, you get it now. And now we have the extended return policy, which is amazing.
We should probably talk about that because I feel like this would make an incredible gift, like especially a standalone gift for a family.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe it's somebody who just got their first place. Maybe it's somebody who's downsizing, is trying to kind of recreate their space. And you know how much they love their real wood-burning fireplace, but maybe they didn't turn it on because it was a safety concern. Right now, whether it's a gift for you or a gift for anybody else, you have the 4 months to pay it off, that $2,750, but you also have our extended return policy. So that means we'll send it out to you within the next few days, and if for any reason you or the gift recipient doesn't like it, doesn't need it, doesn't want it, you have until the end of January 31st, I can't believe I'm even saying this, 2025, to be able to get your money back. So that is our way of kind of taking the stress out of not only you creating the home that you want, that cozy home, but also if you're gifting that to somebody. Really quickly, I want to dive into all the features, but let me remind you about the colorways. This one that I'm standing next to is what we call blue. Yes, I had to make sure.
Yep, that's the blue one.
It has a little bit of like a tealish undertone, but or maybe like a slate, but it is distinctly different in person than the gray. The gray has more of that true traditional blue-gray. The difference between the antique white and the taupe has more of that sand or that grayish colorway. Of course, the green is like a beautiful sage. Green, oh goodness, green is the most limited, so that's the newest update. Black is, you can't go wrong with black. It's classic. It's always going to go with everyone in anyone's home. And then finally, I really do love the red, and I like that you have the red and black shirt, because red is something that I always feel like kind of reminds me of the holidays, of course.
Absolutely.
You know?
That's why I wore the shirt.
I love it.
That's why I'm hanging out over here next to Old Red. I call him Old Red.
Let's talk about when you get it home. What's the assembly? How do I turn it on? How can I create my perfect environment?
It's a great question. There are 4 legs. They are assembled snap-on. They snap into place, and there are just four Phillips screws. And so all you need for this is a Phillips head screwdriver. And I asked my 14-year-old stepson to put this together. He had it done in exactly 96 seconds. I was pretty impressed. That's how simple it is to put the legs on. But then, now to operate, all you're gonna do is plug it in. There's an on-off switch in the back, and then you have an additional on-off switch in the front. You have access to all of the features in the front or via the universal remote control. I say universal remote control because a lot of folks pick up 2 or 3 of these, and then the remotes get, you know, sort of mixed up in a drawer. It doesn't matter. They're not designated to a specific fireplace. So that's always gonna work. So now here's where the heat comes out, right here, Val. These are those infrared bulbs, and this is where it gets very, very hot. The rest of the unit is completely cool to the touch. I can touch this anywhere else, but here you're gonna get temperatures between 300 to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, because that's what you're gonna need to heat a space that's 688 square feet. So you turn this on. Now, there are 2 modes for the actual engine itself. There's high and then there's medium, and you can adjust those right here. And when you do that, then you can really dial it in with the remote and get the specific temperature that you want, because this will continually take the temperature of the air in the room. And when that temperature, for instance, gets below 74 degrees, it's going to turn itself back on. But when it gets to 74, it's going to keep going there for a little while, then it's going to shut itself off, it's going to cool itself off, and then it will turn itself off on just like your regular thermostat in your house. And I always like to say, please take the zone heating challenge. What does that mean? Well, if you go to the US Department of Energy website, all politics aside, you'll find out that zone heating really saves money. It depends on your house, right? It depends on your insulation. Every house is different. But if you take the zone heating challenge with me right now and say, turn that thermostat down to a temperature that otherwise would be uncomfortable. Let's call it 64 degrees. That seems a little chilly, 64 degrees. Then take your warm living, put it in the room that you spend most of your time in, and turn it up to 72 degrees. It will be 72 degrees in that room, whether it's your bedroom, whether it's the bath, the kitchen and the living room combined. Think of a 2-car garage with 2 big SUVs and all that recreational equipment and all that other stuff. It'll heat that space in no time, because that's only 400 square feet. This is rated to heat a space up to 688 square feet. So for something that weighs only 12.5 pounds, it packs a lot of heat.
I thought you were going to talk about me, you know, small but mighty. But
that's right, small but mighty,
But I will tell you, I know that it might feel a little earlier in the season for you, but we're about to go into daylight savings. It's going to get darker earlier. It's going to stay darker longer, and that kind of sometimes makes people feel a little anxious too. And then it's going to start getting colder and colder and colder. And right now, we're already seeing that there are areas of the country where the temperatures are dropping. So when you think about this, in Seattle, I think that says 52. My eyes aren't that good. 52, 52, 50. You're looking at Portland, Great Falls, and these are and you're dropping into the 40s and the 30s, and you know who you are, and those temps just keep dropping. You're getting this now. You're getting it within a few days. So as Carrie was mentioning, that zone heating can make a big difference sometimes in how much you're spending your cost to heat a whole home versus just the area you're sleeping in or just the area that you're relying on. And this is the only today's special heater that we're going to do of the entire year, of the entire season. That's really important, because if there are any left when we you know, don't have this today, you could be spending more. You also might not get the color you want, and quite frankly, it could be getting to a point where you're feeling like, oh my gosh, you know, I've just run out to the store, and you start buying things that are ugly or cumbersome or they don't work. Warm Living does this one time a year. This is the time to do it. $27.50 gets it home. I love the red. Also, I wanted to say the finishes are very modern. Oh, absolutely. This is the most modern, the most elegant, the sleekest, if you will, that we've had in the 6 years. And I want to give you an idea. We talked about something that can really heat up. We have a thermal camera over here. See if I can boot this up. Well, I may not be able to do it right now. And we could do that in a second, but I want to talk, we talked about aesthetics and how beautiful it is. The flame effect, the crackling fire effect. We've talked about the performance. Able to heat a space up to 688 square feet, and a 2-car garage is only 400 square feet. Let's talk about the other of the 3 most important reasons to make this purchase right now, and that is safety. Safety is paramount, right? This is a heater, okay? Well, this has 2 very important safety features. Here we go. The first of which is, if it ever overheats, it will know it and it will shut itself off. It'll be that simple. If it ever tips over, forward,
backward, to the left, or to the right, it will shut itself off. It has a built-in pendulum shut-off switch, and I want to show that to you live right now. So we're going to give you a shot of the flame effect, and of course, this is where the heat's coming out.
So all the features are being, they're all on right now.
They're all on right now. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tilt this over. Just imagine this like falling, right? You see what happened?
Yeah.
It just shut itself off.
Yeah, and the heater turned off. So if it could be a dog,
Before
it could be
it hits
a
the
neighbor.
ground, it shuts itself off.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible.
Right.
I love that safety feature. And also on this one that I'm using, like I've got just the little effect going on, right? I don't even have the heat on, and I'm just like, just hanging out. So if you like the ambiance, if you like the look, but maybe you don't need the heat right now, you know, I don't know about you, but if you grew up with a real fireplace or a real stove, right? And I remember my great-grandmother, she had that real wood fire burning stove, and it was the coolest thing, but you couldn't come anywhere near it. This is something that is completely safe, the door even. You know,
that's a first. First time in 6 years you can open the door.
Oh, I love that. Look, none of this is hot.
Right.
There is no hot elements.
Not hot at all.
It's not hot at all. And all of your features, let's say you put that remote and someone grabs it and puts it near their bedside, you can go on and you can change all of that. We're gonna lower the lights just so you can see the feel. Because I want you to imagine right now, not only to hear the crackle and the sound of maybe that cabin that you used to go to when you were growing up, or maybe it's your mom or dad's, your childhood home, but now you also get that warmth with that infrared heating, which really just warm you from within. I love that you mentioned that earlier. It's like when you step out into the sunshine, right?
Yeah, if you're freezing cold because you're in the shade, but then you step into, those are the safe sort of infrared lights of the sun. They're safe. They're not ultraviolet lights. So they warm you from the inside out. I had to Google that word, subcutaneous, from the inside out. Like a bowl of soup warms you on a cold day, or a hug from a good friend. You just feel warm from the inside. And it will never, ever, ever, ever dry out the air in the room that you're heating, because it's not like forced air or electric. It does not take out the relative humidity in the room. So your skin doesn't get all dry, your eyes, your sinuses, none of that happens. But this is what it's all about year round. And I know it's only the 1st of October. We're just getting into fall, but this is what it's about year round. It could be in the middle of the hottest day in the summer. You don't have to turn the heat on. None of these have the heat on right now.
Yep.
We turned the heat off on all of these. This is just the flame effect with a little bit of that crackling fire sound effect to boot.
And let me just say, my husband's in real estate. Fireplaces in general are one of the things that people want.
I got a pro tip.
Yeah, tell me.
If you have a fireplace, we have a fireplace, we're here in Florida, we can only do fires probably in the fireplace in December, January, February, maybe March, right? This is in our fireplace.
Oh, that's a great idea.
You put it in the fireplace when you're not using the fireplace.
Yeah.
And then you just go over it and you turn it on, or you just use the remote and you turn it on, and you have the look and the feel without the wood. I got to go chop some more wood, actually.
Okay, you get on that. But my point is basically, you have the opportunity to get something, gives you that look and the feel the year round, and you get something, you take it with you. You're not hiring a contractor, there's no gas, there's no coils, there's nothing that you have to, no maintenance. You just get to customize that feature whenever you want to. Carrie McNally.
Oh, Val, always a pleasure to see you.
Don't go cut some wood. In fact, I want you to go take a load off, sit back, get a nice little afternoon beverage, and enjoy the Warm Living infrared heater, okay?
Yes, thank you so much. Performance, beauty, and safety. That's what it is.
Oh, until you got to safety, I thought he was talking about me again. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'm so delighted that you're here with us today. I hope you pick up our Best Buy of the Day. Under $30 gets it home, and we'll ship it out to you. Have that great extended return policy. And choose a color that you love as well. All right, I get a chance to also share with you some other great features about our set. So, we now have Safavieh and New Loom, and an offer to give you a wide selection of quality